The first step in preparing to sew with our Katherine is winding a bobbin, and it's very easy. There's a numerical path on the top of the machine marked by a dashed line, and that's the path that we follow for bobbin winding. So first I'll take my spool of thread and place it onto the spool pin. And you want to make sure that when you place your thread onto the spool pin that your thread is coming off the bottom of the spool. I have a spool of Madeira Aerofill, one of my favorite threads here. And then you're going to place a spool cap on the end of the spool of thread. Now when you choose the spool cap, your machine comes with several of them, several different sizes. You want to make sure that you find the spool cap that's closest in size to your spool of thread, even if it's a little bit larger. Especially if your spool of thread has any little nicks or clips in the spool itself to catch your thread ends when you're not using the thread. From there, again, we're going to follow the numerical path marked with the dashed line. First, our thread comes up over this plastic guide here, and then under this metal piece here, just like that, and then straight toward this metal guide right here. Goes behind and under, and you'll feel it kind of catch into place, and then goes around your tension disc. Now you're ready to place your bobbin on the bobbin winding pin. You want to make sure that you're using a class 15 bobbin. This is the type of bobbin that comes with the Katherine. You have to make sure that you use the proper sized bobbin for your machine. So just keep that in mind. Not all bobbins are the same. If it's a bobbin from a different brand, it's probably different. Or it could even be from a different baby lock machine and still be a different type of bobbin. So again, make sure that you're using your class 15 bobbin. And if you need more, you can get those from your retailer. We're going to place the bobbin right onto the bobbin winding spool pin and then just give it a little twist until you hear a click. That click is the sound of the spring on the bobbin winding spool pin releasing and catching into a little clip on the bobbin that's going to hold that bobbin straight as the winder twists around. Now you can take your thread and wrap it around your bobbin 2 or 3 times. You don't have to try and catch the end of the thread tail in one of the holes in the top of the bobbin. You're simply going to wrap it around a few times and then take it to the thread cutter and pull. That's going to do 2 things. It grasps the thread and holds it tight for bobbin winding, and also cuts off the excess tail so that it doesn't get twisted up. Now you can move the bobbin winding pin into winding position and you're ready to wind the bobbin. I'm going to do that just by touching the start-stop button. Now you do have the ability to adjust the speed at which your bobbin winds by adjusting your speed control lever here. It's for sewing and bobbin winding. And I don't have my foot control plugged in, which is why I use the start-stop button. If I had my foot control plugged in, I would not be able to utilize the start-stop button to fill that bobbin. I'd have to just put my foot on the foot control. Now the machine is going to automatically slow down a bit once the bobbin gets close to full, and that's your indication to stop winding. So it's slowing down, so I'll touch my stop button. And now I can release the bobbin winder, move it to the left. That deactivates the bobbin winding motor. And now I can remove my bobbin. You could use a pair of thread snips, or you can use the cutter built into the bobbin winding spool pin to trim your thread. And now we can insert the bobbin into the bobbin case. To open up the bobbin case, you're simply going to push this little lever to the right, and that causes the bobbin lid to pop right up. We can take that off. And we're going to drop the bobbin into the bobbin case, and you want to make sure that the tail of the thread is kind of coming down off to the left. And you're going to place it right into the drop-in bobbin. I love this. We're going to follow the arrows around this little path. That's what holds the bobbin thread in place. And then I'm going to slide the door back on. So you just to the left, push it down, it clicks into place. And I'll give my thread a little snip, and my machine is ready to sew once I thread the needle. You don't have to worry about bringing the bobbin thread up to the top. The machine will automatically do that for you.